Let's carry on talking about that this hour, shall we? 03456060973, the number for your thoughts on it. Would love to hear them, as always, here on the programme. Lots of calls to cut through. Let's start with Jane this hour in Wandsworth. Jane, a very good morning to you.
Hello, Ben. Yes, well, the best news I could ever have is to wake up and find out he's actually gone already.
The best news you could ever have.
Because I do actually hate, loathe, detest and despise the man. There are no adjectives. There are not enough adjectives I could use for him, basically.
Right.
And that is the truth of the matter. It's not me. I don't know anyone, actually, who likes him. I'm a union member, and we had a branch meeting today. And, well, they're going to, we've sent a letter to the TUC hoping that they will withdraw all trade unions from the Labour Party unless he goes.
Why do you feel so strongly about him, Jane?
Sorry, where do you start, basically? Basically, without, shall we say, without he's arrogant. He's just so arrogant. Everything he does is to do with the law. I mean, he obviously is, a lawyer, but...
What do you mean everything he does is to do with the law?
Well, he will change the law to suit himself. I mean, he changed the Prime Minister, how they can re-elect a Prime Minister after he was elected. He changed he's got this golden pension handshake thing.
Yeah, but that was a law that was passed by a previous... That wasn't a law that he passed. That was a law that was passed when he was Director of Public Prosecutions to give him a certain pension.
Yeah, but he did it.
He didn't do it. He wasn't even a politician at the time.
No, not a politician, but he anyway,
he benefited from it. It wasn't him. He wasn't. He benefited from it.
Well, anyway...
But it wasn't him that passed it.
If you want to know, the reason is, I mean, basically, he's a liar. That is the truth of the matter.
What do you think he's lied about?
Well, because he said he was from working class. He said his dad worked in a factory. His dad owned the factory.
His dad was
He said he went to a state school. Sorry?
He did go to a state school.
No, he didn't. He went to private school.
He went to state school for most of his education.
No, excuse me. I know, because I lived a couple of miles away from where he lived, actually.
It's now, I think it's now a private school.
It was Reigate Grammar. It was a state school.
Yes.
The year he was offered a place, it changed into a private school. So he had a private education. It's a beautiful school with fabulous grounds and everything. Sorry?
I don't think that's right. I think it later became a private school.
No, it was when he went through the senior school there. When he went to senior school,
just look at this. 2 years into his time there, it became a independent fee-paying school.
Knew before.
But hold on.
He went in.
This is important. No, because this is important. Because you're saying things about Keir Starmer that aren't true, and I've got to point them out. 2 years into his time at Reigate Grammar, it became a fee-paying school, but he continued to attend using a bursary, so he didn't pay fees. So let's just get that.
He didn't pay any fees, but it was a private school. But what he led the population to believe, the working classes to believe, was he was a working class boy. He showed a little picture of this little semi-detached house.
Yes.
You can't. It was just by Dodie Fyatt's house or his parents' house. You can't buy anything for less than $500,000 there. And he also forgot to mention it had acres of land attached to it. He also forgot to mention when he sold that land, he forgot to declare it. I'm also a WASPI woman. 3.8 million women he persuaded. He campaigned with us. 3.8 million, and every single one of them, on our sites basically, has ripped up and said they will never vote Labour again, certainly not while he's around. I mean, there's just so many things. There's so many people who's upset. The WASPI women, the pensioners, the disabled, the farmers. I mean, you can just go on and on.
It doesn't really. That's why he's so unpopular.
It's nothing to do with politics. It's to do with him personally.
Because
when he comes on the radio or the television, he makes people feel physically sick. Because he's so disingenuous.
That's strong. That's strong sort of language, Jane. You think that's how people feel?
It is.
He genuinely makes people want to retch when they listen to an interview with the Prime Minister.
No, they just turn him off because it's so disingenuous.
So why did they elect him as Prime Minister in the first? Why did the country elect him as Prime Minister in the first?
We didn't elect him. We elected the Labour Party,
led
and he
by
has
him.
to be the Prime Minister.
But hold on, if you turn on the radio and there's a party leader speaking and he makes you feel physically sick, you don't then go a few days later and vote for him to be Prime Minister.
Sorry?
If he was as unpopular and as sort of despised and consistently as you're making out, he wouldn't have become PM in the first place.
Well, I mean, a lot of his own party didn't want him to be. He wasn't even a politician, was he?
He won a historic landslide election.
No, the Labour Party
led by
won.
him, yes.
And he happened to be the leader of the Labour Party.
Well, Jeremy Corbyn happened to be the leader of the Labour Party. He didn't win an election. He lost
meeting
two.
This morning, that was full of men as well. And no one can stand him.
And you think this is...
you either want to know the reasons or you don't want to know the reasons.
No, I do want to know. I'm not sure I buy the reasons.
Don't.
I do, Jane. I don't know if I buy them,
because I've just told you, this is the emotion he has on people when he comes on the television.
But with all due respect, I'm not entirely sure that your trade union branch meeting is completely representative of the country.
Well, I don't think it is, but the 3.8 million women are, and we have been campaigning for 10 years. He, along with Rachel, he let Rachel Reeves sit next to him.
Yeah.
That will be forever. Rachel Reeves crying her eyes out, and he didn't even acknowledge her distress. There's just so many vile things about him. As soon as he was elected, he was having people buy his suits.
Do you think he's a vile individual, Jane?
They paid $4,000 or it was rent supposedly for his boy, so that his boy could do his GCSEs. I mean, and he's supposed to be representing the working classes.
So you see him as a sort of sellout, do you?
Well, no, just absolutely revolting.
So because he says he was working class, he shouldn't be paying for his son to have some privacy when he does exams.
It's the main thing. That is, if you put it in a nutshell.
What's the main thing? Sorry.
The main thing is that he was trying to represent himself as one of the working classes, standing up and being one of us.
Even if you don't buy that he is working class in your sort of your terms, he is still a more working class prime minister than we've had in quite some time.
No, I don't believe it. No,
what, you think he's less working class than Boris Johnson?
Yes.
So you think Boris Johnson, who went to Eton College and then studied classics at Oxford, is more working class than Keir Starmer?
Yes.
Jane, that's...
Or more one of the people, let's put it that way.
What
working,
about Boris Johnson is working class?
Because he is so arrogant. He thinks, you asked that lady, what does she believe
we're
in?
being silly now.
No, we're not.
We are.
You asked that woman...
Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson is more working class than Keir Rodney Starmer.
Yes, he relates more and he understands more.
Jane?
He relates and he understands more.
That's a different point. It doesn't mean he's working class.
And he understands more. So you don't want to... The other thing is...
Hold on. What's that got to do with being working class?
No, you asked, what does he believe in? The only thing he believes in
but I want to just get to the bottom of this. I cannot believe you're telling me that Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson's more working class than Keir Starmer.
I'm not interested in Boris.
What about Rishi Sunak? He's got billions in the bank. Is he more working class than Keir Starmer?
Anymore. So is Keir.
Keir Starmer's not a billionaire, Jane.
I bet he has.
Oh my God.
So has Keir. But the thing is, he pretends he hasn't.
He's not a billionaire. You think Keir Starmer has a secret stash of billions that he got from God knows where and is secretly hiding it from
that's not even the point. That's not the point. It's nothing to do with that. You're asking about him and his personality and how he relates.
I'm not. I'm asking about you telling me that he's more working class than... that he's less working class than... What you tell me? Is he less working class than David Cameron?
Photographed and his campaigning with the WASPI women, saying, give us your vote, because I'm working class, and as soon as he was elected, do you know what he said? You're not getting anything.
And I get your anger, and I think it's righteous.
He said you're not getting anything.
But how can you possibly think he is less working class as a Prime Minister than the likes of David Cameron, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson?
Because he thinks he is. He thinks he's something above everyone else.
I don't see any evidence for that.
Well, then that's the problem then, isn't it?
What's the problem?
That's the problem.
What's the problem?
That's the problem. You're asking, and I'm talking about virtually... I haven't met anyone yet. No, I met a woman in a coffee shop yesterday.
Right.
Straight away, thank God, let's get him out now.
What, you met a random woman in a coffee shop, and straight away she said to you, we need to get Keir Starmer out of office?
Yes.
Like, that was the first thing she said to you?
Because the man outside the coffee shop, and they called an ambulance.
And she said to you... I don't know,
she started talking.
Right.
Sorry?
So a man collapsed outside the coffee shop, and the first thing this woman said to you is, Keir Starmer needs to go.
No, we then had a conversation about the NHS, and then what she said, the same as everyone else thinks, anyone over 60 he wants dead. All he's interested in is his boy and the younger generation.
Jane, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, and you're right. I'm glad you called in and gave it to me, because I want to hear why people like you hate Keir Starmer so much, and that is the word that you used. It doesn't mean I understand it or I agree with it, but I'm glad you called in, because you're right. There are a lot of people like Jane who would agree. Got to say, a lot of people texting completely disagree. I mean, I just can't get on board with that. And I'm not a huge fan of Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. But the idea that Boris Johnson was more working class than Starmer, or that he wants to kill people over the age of 60, or that he's a vile man because he wanted his son to have some privacy when he did his G's. That is an example for me of the gulf between the legitimate criticism that Keir Starmer's poor performance as Prime Minister warrants and deserves, and the sheer, I would say, disproportionate vitriol and venom that he seems to engender in a lot of people. But maybe you're with Jane. Maybe you're with me. 0345 6060 973. More calls to come in just a moment. Ben Kentish here. The time here is